Yes, hi. Thanks for joining me on the mat today. I decided to do a twisting session today after having eaten a lot over the holidays. Twisting, moving all the internal organs is really great for the digestion. So join me. Have 3 blankets or 2 or 3 blankets to sit on and 2 blocks. Let's get started. Okay, so come to sitting on your 3 blankets. Cross your legs well at the shins and move the buttocks flesh back and scoot your buttocks, the back of the pelvis all the way to the wall. Have your shoulders against the wall, have the back of the head against the wall, and turn the palms up. Draw the elbows in close to the wall. So the front of the chest is opening. You're sitting tall. Close your eyes here. And let's just take a minute. Relax the knees down, the inner thighs. Lift the front of the spine up, the sternum bone. And continue to press the outer shoulders and the triceps against the wall. Bring your mind into the breath. And then join the palms at the center of your chest. Press the palms evenly together and let's chant one Om here together. Take a deep breath in. Om. Inhale. And exhale, release the hands down to your thighs, release the head down to your chest. Bring the head back up, open your eyes. And let's move straight on to the first pose, which is a little bit of a twist. So take your blocks and place your blocks on the medium setting. And you're going to turn to the right. You're going to turn your navel over the right knee, bring your block to the outside of that right thigh, and bring your other block in front. And I want to continue to scoot the buttocks all the way up to the back of the wall, or to the wall. And then with your right hand on the block, you're going to press down and turn that abdomen towards the knee. And then with the left hand, you're going to reach this block out. Now, if you feel that you can't come very far forward, you can, of course, lift this block up and then reach that block out. So as you reach out, you continue to press the right hand down and turn the belly to the right and then reach out with that other block. Let the head go so the head is in line with the spine. Press that right hand down. Try to keep that left buttock sitting bone down. It will lift a little bit. Take a few breaths here. Relax the abdomen on your exhale. And then draw that block in and come up. And then switch the blocks over to the other side. Center yourself. Now press your left hand down on the block and turn your abdomen over the left knee. And then start to walk this block out on the medium or the tall setting, whatever works for you. Keep pressing the left hand down on the left block to turn your trunk, the abdomen, over that knee and reach the other block out. So reaching, turning, using that left hand on the block to press that, to keep that right sitting bone in contact with the blanket. Reach out, with the right hand. And then come up to center. And then change the cross of your legs. And let's do that again. We move the right block to the right of your leg. Turn the abdomen and reach out over that leg. Take a few breaths, pressing the right hand, turning the chest, turning the abdomen, reaching out, lengthening from the left hip to your left armpit, to your fingers, moving those left back ribs down towards the floor. Left back ribs down towards the floor, and the right shoulder blade into the back ribs. And then come up, center yourself, because you might have gotten a little crooked, scoot back towards the wall, and repeat on the other side. So left hand pressing on the block, turn the abdomen over the knee, and then reach the right hand out over in line with the knee. Reach it out. So as you press the left hand into the block, that helps you to turn these right back ribs down towards the floor, and the left shoulder blade, draw it into the back ribs. Reach that right hand out on the block. Exhale a little deeper, release your abdomen. And draw the block in, come up, center yourself, and let's reach the blocks forward. Sit tall, lengthen forward, reach forward. Get good length here. Press your inner hands, roll the inner arms up towards the ceiling, let the head go. And wherever your head is, bring a block in and put under the head. It could be low, it could be high, it could be 2 blocks. So make it accessible for your body. So bring a block in under the forehead and bring your hands to the floor, or the fingertips to the floor. Exhale, release your abdomen. Press your outer hips back towards the blankets. Good, and then come on up to sitting. All right, let's go ahead and move the blankets out of the way, and we'll come straight up to standing. Have your block. Now I like this way of doing Tadasana, mountain pose. So have a block a little higher than on the sacrum, but you're going to press it down towards the tailbone. So start here, a little higher than the tailbone. Go back to the wall, put the block against the wall. Have your feet together, or if you're more comfortable, if you have lower back issues or hip issues, have your feet slightly apart. And then press the block down towards the tailbone. So it's like you're wedging your tailbone down towards the floor. And then lean back into the block. See if you can get that block straight on the floor. I hope mine is. And then lift the pubic bone, the navel, the chest. Roll the shoulders back and down. Standing tall in Tadasana. Feel your inner feet pressing. Press your outer feet. Press the inner and outer heels. And then notice the space between the shoulder blade. Now I have a very too straight of an upper back, so I have a tendency to almost go into a back bend just because my spine is so straight. So that may not be the same for you, but notice that you're not over squeezing the shoulder blades in the back. So find a little space between the shoulder blades. Reach down through your thumbs, reach down through your little fingers. And even close your eyes here lifting the front of the trunk, pressing the thighs back, front of the thighs back, firm legs, firm the thighs, lift the kneecaps. And then open your eyes, take your arms forward, interlace the fingers, turn the palms out and stretch your arms up. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, bring your arms down. Change the interlace of your fingers. Turn the palms out. Open the palms. Inhale and stretch up from the soles of your feet. Stretch up to your wrists. Reach up. Lengthen the spine. Exhale, bring your hands down and take your hands down. Okay, join me for the next pose. So bring a chair over to the wall. Okay, now for this next pose, you're going to have a chair against the wall. Put a block on the chair. Basically, once you put your foot up, you want your knee a little bit higher than your hip. So if you have a tall chair and you're a small person, you may not need that block. You just want to end up with the knee a little higher than the hip. And then so I have my right side to my wall, and then bring your right thumb in the right hip crease and press the sitting bone and the outer hip down towards the floor. And at the same time, spread your toes of your standing leg and draw up through the inner leg. So this hip comes in. So it's kind of a balance between the two. If we draw up too much, then my hip sticks out. So then I have to press that hip down again, tailbone down again, but still firm that leg up, standing tall all the way up to the crown of the head. Stretch your left arm up. Turn towards the wall and then bring both hands on the wall and then bring your left hand on the outer knee. Look at the wall and turn. Exhale, turn. So I'm using this back hand on the wall to turn. Keeping that right sitting bone, right hip going down towards the floor. And then turn forward. So take your leg down. Let's do this from the other side. You might be able to see a little better from this side what I'm doing with the back hand. So bring your left foot up on the block or the chair. And find that balance between the standing leg drawing up through the inner leg. Firm this hip in of the standing leg. But at the same time, don't let this hip stick out towards the wall. Draw that down and the sitting bone down. So find that balance between those two actions. Inhale, stretch your right arm up. Exhale, turn towards the wall. Bring both hands on the wall first. And then bring your right hand down on the outer side of that knee. And then use your hand on the wall to press slightly. Press into the knee, stand tall. Exhale, turn the abdomen. Inhale, standing tall. Exhale, turn the chest. And again, come to the front, take your foot down, and let's go to the other side. Bring your right foot up again. Stand tall. Now without the thumb there, you can put your thumb there if that brings a little more awareness to the outer hip and the sitting bone. Stand tall, lift your chest, stretch your arm up. Turn and place your hand on the wall. Place your hand on the outer knee. Again, stand tall. And then press your hand into the wall, into the knee. Exhale, turn. Turn your chest. Keep this leg, it wants to go to the wall. Keep this leg in line with the hip. If that feels okay in the hip crease. If that doesn't feel okay in the hip socket, then by all means, bring this leg a little bit closer to the wall so there's a little more space in the hip. Now turn the neck, look behind you if that's comfortable in the neck. and then turn forward. Right, so we'll do the other side. Right, so two options. Make sure that it's comfortable in the hip crease. If when you turn, when you keep that knee in line with the hip, if that's not comfortable, if you feel discomfort in the hip, we have to listen to that and take the knee a little closer to the wall so there's a little more space when we turn. So notice small things like that. Let's go to the last side. Bring your left leg up on the chair, standing tall. Left hip, left sitting bone, reaching to the floor. Inhale, stretch your arm up. Lift the chest, lift the side ribs, turn. Place your hand, left hand on the wall, right hand on that outer knee. And at first, keep that outer knee in line with the hip. Standing tall, exhale, turn. Notice the left hip crease. If it feels comfortable, keep the knee in line with the hip. If not, just let it move your foot a little closer to the wall. Let the knee go a little to the side. Turn the head if it's comfortable in the neck. If not, look straight at the wall. And just turn the chest, turn the abdomen. And go ahead, look forward. Take your foot down. And join me for the next pose. Okay, I still have my chair here. I'm going to stand right behind the chair. I'm not going to use the chair at first. We're going to do Adho Uttanasana, half forward bend. Turn your palms, your fingers out in line with the middle of your chest. And then walk back, take your legs wide. Press your hands into the wall, spread your fingers, reach the hips back. Now, if you have flexible hamstrings, you can go a little lower with the hands. Reach the hips back. Turn your heels out a little bit. Lengthen the space from the hips, outer hips to the armpits. Roll the inner arms up to the ceiling. That kind of happens as the fingers are turned out. Breathe, one more breath here. The abdomen moves up towards the spine. And then walk forward and come up to standing. And let's do the similar pose, downward facing dog on the chair. So bring your hands, I like to really grab the side of the chair. Walk your feet back, almost as wide as the mat. Go quite a bit far back. Press your hands into the chair and reach the hips back. Now my legs are firm. Draw up through the legs. Draw them up into the hip sockets. Lift the front of the thighs. Lift the kneecaps. Press your hips back and just let the head just let it be in between the arms, in line with the spine. Chest forward, sternum forward, dorsal spine coming down towards the chest. Bend your knees and walk forward and come up. Now go ahead, let's move the chair to away from the wall like this. Put a blanket on top of the back of the chair. And we're going to do the intense side stretch. So we're not just twisting today, but we're also doing some poses to lengthen the spine. So lengthening the spine and then twisting. So a combination of those two. So I'm going to turn my back to you. So go wide, have your left foot at the wall, have your right foot out about 3 foot wide, and turn your left foot deeply in, turn your right foot out. And then go ahead, let's move this chair a little further away. Good. Now, so this back leg is really key for us to turn forward. So this whole inner leg is rolling back to the wall. The inner ankle, the inner knee, the inner thigh. Press your big toe and your inner foot strongly down on the front leg. And look forward with your abdomen, your chest, your nose, your eyes. Lift the chest, look up, And then come forward over this chair. Reach the arms forward. Reach the arms forward. Lengthen the chest forward. Lengthen the spine. But draw that front leg up into the hip. Take this outer right thigh back towards the wall. And then come up, bring your hands on the chair, bend the leg. Actually, let's just turn back to where we started and join the feet, and let's turn around to the other side. Go wide, about 3 feet. Strong legs, tailbone down, chest lifted, and then turn your back foot in deeply, turn your left foot out, and if balance is tricky here, you can move this foot a little bit away so the feet come a little bit apart in that direction. And then this back leg, turn that inner leg towards the wall, inner ankle, inner knee, inner thigh. Look forward with your abdomen, your middle of your chest, your nose, your eyes. Look up. Lift your chest. And then reach forward, reach forward. Be strong in that front leg. Press the big toe, the inner foot. Reach your arms forward over that chair. Lengthen the chest forward, lengthen the arms forward. Draw that left leg up into the hip socket. Draw that left outer hip back towards the wall. And then come up all the way and turn. And join the feet together. Now, let's go ahead and put this blanket on the mat, and then let's move the chair and we'll meet back on the mat. Okay, let's kneel on this blanket. Take also a block. So, you're going to have a block on the medium setting here, or the lowest setting, and then bring your right foot forward like this. So you have the left knee on the blanket. Now bend forward, bring your hand flat on that block, and like we did before when we were standing, you're going to bring your right thumb into the right hip crease, and on purpose we're going to walk this foot out a little bit. So if you're seeing me from this side, we start like this, but then I want to walk my foot out a little bit like that, and then we're going to turn. So we're making a little space in the hip crease and just seeing how that feels. So draw your hip back with the right thumb. Move the eyes of the chest forward and turn. Have a strong left arm, turn. Standing arm, turn. The chest towards the ceiling. Roll that top shoulder back. And just let this knee be out to the side for now. And then come forward and come up. And let's switch. Move the block over. Have and I'll move to the other side so you can see this side. All right, so have your left hand in the left hip. Come forward on the block. And then move this foot out towards the side of the mat. Keep moving the outer left hip back. Pull it back with your thumb. And then have a strong right arm. Draw up through the arm. Turn the chest to the left. Roll this left shoulder back. Take a few breaths and lengthen the sternum. Forward. Chest forward up towards the chin. And then come up. Bring the leg in, and let's repeat this. But this time, have your right leg forward. This time, instead of moving this leg out to the side, we're going to keep it in front, so the knee in line with the hip. Now, this time I want you to notice again how you feel in the hip crease. All right, so just observe. Have your left hand on the block. Lift your chest forward, up towards the chin. Turn a little bit, turn the abdomen, turn the chest. And then go ahead and bring the elbow on the outer knee. And just have a palm here facing out to the side and turn. Use that elbow to pull, to keep the knee in. Lengthen the spine and turn the spine. Notice that your hip is staying back and in. It's not swinging too much out to the side. And then come up. And notice how that felt in the hip area. If something did not feel comfortable, then I would twist with the knee out to the side, like we did in the first pose. Now, other side. I'm going to turn around. Take your other leg forward, left leg forward, left thumb in the left hip. Bring it down and back. Bring your hand, right hand to the block. Now keep this knee now in line with the hip. Strong right arm and turn to the left. Turn your abdomen. Roll that top shoulder back. Lengthen the spine, turn the spine, and then bring your elbow to the outer knee. And again, turn. Keeping this outer knee in. If that feels okay, in the hip socket. Turn. And then take the elbow down and come up. And let's come into a downward facing dog with the hands turned towards your wall. And make sure that your feet are on the mat so they don't slide. Now turn your fingers, index and thumb, out towards the wall. Spread your fingers. Roll your elbow creases towards the wall and lift up through your arms. Be strong in your shoulders and come up into downward facing dog. Press from the hands up to your hips. Lift your heels. Press back. Press your thighs back. Let the head go. And then go ahead and walk your hands back. Take your legs as wide as the mat. If you don't quite reach the floor here, bring your hands up on your thighs here or on your shins. Press the hands into the legs. Look forward, concave back. Concave back. Chest forward. And now bend the elbows out to the side. Let your trunk descend down. Bring your feet, your hands to the floor. Or you can also have blocks, right? So you can bring your blocks in. Bring your blocks to the outside of the feet. Bending your elbows and rolling the shoulders away from the ears. And depending on your flexibility, if you can reach the floor, reach the floor. But it's nice to have the elbows a little bent and moving the shoulders away from the neck, letting the neck go down, the head go down rather towards the floor. Bring more weight into the toes. Firm the legs. Roll the legs in towards each other. Front of the thighs rolling in towards each other. Letting the head and the trunk descend down towards the floor. Exhale, release your abdomen. And then to come up, use your blocks if you're less flexible. Stretch your arms. Look forward, chest forward, concave back. Even if you have to lift high, get to that concave back with the dorsal spine coming forward to the chest. Legs firm. And then bring your hands up to the hips and come up. All right, join me for the next pose. Okay, so I'm adding a little bit of difficulty for this next pose, Parivrtta Trikonasana, revolved triangle pose. Now we're going to do this first with the chair. So if you want to watch first, have a watch. So we're going to start like we did in the pose before, where we were reaching out over the chair. I'm going to turn my foot well in and turn the right foot out. So, as before, roll that inner leg back, whole inner leg back to the wall, firm this front leg up into the hip socket, lift your chest. And then let's just come forward on this chair. I'm going to go a little bit wider. Bring your left hand, so if you have the right foot forward, left hand on the inside of that leg on the chair. And actually, like we've been doing the whole time, this hip draws up and back, like we just did when we were twisting. Now we're going to twist. Now take your hand, place it on your sacrum, back of the pelvis. Twist over that leg. So normal triangle pose, we don't twist over that leg and look behind that leg. We don't twist. Now we twist. Turn, and get a good turn. And just keep your hand on the sacrum. Draw this hip back to the wall. And come up. And let's do the other side. So go wide, about 3 feet. Press one foot against the wall. That helps you to have that reference point of the wall. To balance also. Turn your foot deeply in. Turn out that left foot towards the chair. Now that back leg is revolving back towards the wall. The whole inner leg. Press strongly the front inner foot. Lift your chest. Look slightly up. And then for now, let's just come forward, keeping that front leg strong. Place your right hand on the center of the chair, on the inside of that foot. And then just have your thumb there in that left hip and turn. Place your hand on the sacrum. Turn the chest over that left leg, front leg. Turn to the left. Pin that left hip in, draw up through the leg. Roll that top shoulder back. And come forward. And come up. Okay, now, if it was difficult to turn in that pose, I would repeat it the exact same way. I'm going to do this a second time though. And for the second time, I'm going to use a block. So you're coming down a little bit further into the pose. So go ahead to the first side, left foot at the wall, and have the block in front of that, in front of your toes. Now turn the back foot, turn your right foot out, swing your whole body around so you're looking over that front foot. Bring your hands to the base of the spine. Move the tailbone down, lift the pubic bone, the chest, roll the shoulders back. Now stretch the left arm up. So right foot is forward, left arm is up. Reach over. Move that hip back. Bring the hand on the block. You can keep it on the tall setting. I'm going to lower it, but have your hand flat. Now draw this hip back. Press your inner foot strongly and reach forward with the chest. Lengthen the spine and then turn. Reach that right top shoulder back and see if you have a good turn. I have a little crankiness in my shoulders, so reach the arm up. swing up and come out of the pose. And let's turn to the other side. So have the block in front. By all means, put the block in the tall setting if this was very difficult. Now, start with the legs 3 feet apart. Lift your chest. Legs firm. Move that back foot deeply in. Turn forward over that left foot. Roll that inner leg back to the wall. Lift your, take the tailbone down. Lift the pubic bone, the chest, roll the shoulders back. Now stretch the right arm up. So right arm is up, left leg is forward. Reach forward. Strong front leg. And bring your hand to the inside of the foot. Now the final pose, the block is on the outside of the foot. But we're going to keep it there on the inside. Hand flat on the block. Now continue revolving the trunk around over that front leg. Turn the chest. Revolve, and then stretch your arm up. Only if you have a good twist of that trunk and that top shoulders rolling back, then stretch your arm up. Be strong in the standing arm. Lengthen through the crown of your head. And now swing that arm back, swing the other arm to the wall and come up. All right. And let's make our body a little bit centered here. So let's come down into a downward facing dog again. Now, if you prefer to do it with blocks, you could do it with blocks at the wall, or you can do it with the hands at the wall like we did before. Stretch up. Now if you have your hands on the blocks, you can even lift your toes, press your heels down towards the floor, lengthen up through your legs. Take a few breaths here. Roll your inner thighs back. And come down on your knees. And let's come back. And let's come back. Join me in a supine pose on the floor. Okay, I took my 3 blankets back in. I'm going to put those blankets on the right side of your mat. And we're going to come down and relax in also a twist supine Parivrtta. So lie back with the hands holding the back side of your mat and bring your knees in towards the chest. Press your shoulders down and then go ahead and move your knees to the side and let your knees, your outer shins relax on the blanket. And if your shoulder's a little tight, the shoulder might come up. So gently turn the abdomen away from the knees. Stretch the arm out. See if that shoulder comes down. Maybe it doesn't, that's okay. Breathe here. If it's hard to keep the knees together when you go to the other side, you can put a block between the knees. And then bring the knees back, the legs back to the center. And I would like to have those blankets up to the other side, on my left side. So lie back down again. Roll the shoulder blades under a little bit. Hold the mat. Bring the knees in towards the chest. And then take the knees to the side. I'm taking them a little bit towards my arms. So put those blankets a little close. And I'm letting my knees, my outer shins, my feet rest on the blanket. And at first you can let this side come with you, this opposite side. And then turn your abdomen away from the knees. Turn the chest away from the knees. Stretch your arm back out. Roll that left outer shoulder towards the floor, your right outer shoulder towards the floor. And go ahead, bring the knees back up and come to sitting, roll to your side to come up. Okay, now we've come to the last pose for today. So to have a little softness for your body, for your back, open one of your blankets. Have that blanket against the wall, up against the wall, and have two blankets like this up against the wall. You could also use a bolster. And then let's come into legs up the wall with your sacrum, with your pelvis raised up. Now the best way to come in is to sit on the blankets and then move this outer hip down so you don't fall off of the blankets. Move the outer hip down, scoot in close with the buttocks, and then come up, roll to the side, bend your knees, and scoot in a little closer. So I want these blankets ideally to lift my chest a little bit. So they're pressing in about where my bra strap is and lifting my chest. And if my hamstrings are tight, it actually helps to have a little lift of the pelvis. Now, I do want my whole sacrum to be down and resting. So if the hamstrings are very tight here, I would probably move back a little bit away from the wall. Now, take your arms out to the side, turn the palms up, and roll the shoulder blades under just a little bit. So the chest is open. And take your legs a little bit apart. Let your legs relax. Let them relax in the hip socket. Roll them out a little bit. And then soften and close your eyes. Take a couple of deeper breaths. Relax and let go. Completely. Relax your throat. Have your lips gently closed so the throat can relax. Eyes gently closed. Releasing all the skin on your face, all your facial muscles. Just rest and breathe. As slowly as you're ready, take a couple of deeper breaths. And go ahead, bend your legs, place them on the wall, and just slowly push backwards until you come all the way down with the pelvis on the floor, and then cross your legs on those blankets. Take a couple of breaths here. And then go ahead, join your knees. Bring them in towards the chest. Roll to your side. Support your head. Take a few breaths in this fetal position. And then when you're ready, come up to sitting. You can sit on your blankets. You can sit with your back to the wall, keeping your eyes closed. Just sitting, quiet, feeling your practice. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today. Hope to see you soon.